Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. We're going to start with this video here, a video clip here with Anthony Scaramucci and it kind of hitting on Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren, and this whole Aaron Kaplan Prometheum thing, kind of connecting it to the whole, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried fraud stuff. Let's listen into this.
Well, I think the fraud from Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, I think, has swung the pendulum in Washington too far into the over-regulation, persecution, and prosecution business. And I think Gary Gensler has probably overreached in that capacity at this point now. And this whole Promethean thing, I don't know if you're following that, but he approved this broker-dealer that has ties to the Communist Chinese Party, the Chinese Communist Party. So I don't know, I think he's overplayed his hand. It's sort of like him and Elizabeth Warren are riding around as Batman and Robin in the old Ghostbusters car. You know, you got the Bitcoin logo on the side of the car with a sort of red line through it. And so I don't think the United States needs to be going in that direction. They should go in the direction that you guys have gone here in Canada, which is a propitious regulation, fair regulation. The Canadian politicians and your regulators realize.
So yeah, like as you can see, like talking about the connections any matter, meaning like what they use, what they're utilizing to push their narrative and push their agenda, which is shameful, man. And I agree with what he's saying, man. We need to go the opposite way of what they're trying to do. I mean, quite honestly, we got some stuff here from Cowboy Crypto. I found some stuff on Mark Carney, right? So let's listen into what Chairman Gensler says right here when he was at MIT.
When I was chief financial officer of the Hillary campaign, we had to hire a payment system processor with Stripe. So all the donations that were coming in, when I was chief financial officer.
So hiring Stripe, right? So it says, this is from Cowboy Crypto, it says Michael Moritz, ex-Sequoia chairman, also on the board of Yahoo and a Biden top donor, also sits on the board of Stripe, which is a payments processor that Gary Gensler hired while he was CFO for the Hillary campaign to process donations, right? It says Mark Carney, ex-governor for Bank of England and Canada, also ex-Goldman Sachs with Gensler, is on the board of Stripe. Mark also sits on the board of the Bank of International Settlements, or the BIS, and World Economic Forum with the eyes, right? And he has some information down here as well that he put up from Brian Costello, excuse me. And then Digital Asset Investor had put this up right here. We've showed this before on this channel. So it says Stripe and Ripple Labs shared dinner at El Tepa Taqueria, celebrated the pending acquisition of the latter by the for president, where from left Stripe heads of business development Jet McCaleb, Patrick Collison, Chris Larson, the CFO of Stripe, and some other guy. There goes that name, Jet McCaleb, again, right? We haven't talked about Jet McCaleb like in depth for a while, but we slightly brought him up. Like, why is he untouchable, right? Oh, man. It's all connected. He's in the mix, right? He's in the mix with the big players. So this from Cowboy Crypto as well. So I've watched this. I don't know if he put it on his podcast, but the Bearable Bull had Craig DeWitt on there, and they were kind of having a conversation. And I thought just right along with Cowboy Crypto, I thought this was one of the most profound things that he said in that whole 45-minute video that Bearable Bull had put out. So let's take a quick listen into this.
Let's say the U.S. government comes out full force and says XRPL is bad, whatever they come up with next. When you're on chain, they still can't take you off of it. That is why I fell in love with crypto assets. Because there's no government, there's no corporation, there's no individual that can keep you from accessing your value. That's the truth. That's truth for XRPL. So
I mean, hey, that's some power there for sure. My opinion, I feel like if the government wanted to do something, they can do it. I mean, I think a lot of us would agree to that. But I see what he's saying there. There is a lot of power in digital asset, the crypto space, especially XRP, XRPL, and just what the digital asset XRP has to offer in general, man. And hopefully we get some regulatory clarity and some sort of guidelines, and that allows this space to flourish and build and set out to do what it's intended to do. The good actors and the right actors in the space. Then it'll offer a lot more benefits to all of us across the globe. This is another interesting clip that I've liked. A digital asset investor had put up. This is from Altcoin Daily, and this is an NFT art creator. Digital asset investor says, This is like watching the Ethereum gang discover fire. She's in shock. XRP actually works. This is what we have been saying for years while we watch the lie that somehow Bitcoin and Ethereum were superior when they were always defective. From the first time I sent XRP, I asked the same question I'm asking now. Why would anyone use Bitcoin or Ethereum when they can use this? Which a lot of, that's what we've been saying, but listen to this right here. It's still interesting though.
I'm a multi-chain artist, so I have NFTs on Ethereum, I have ordinals on Bitcoin, I have NFTs on Polygon, I did one on BNB. So XRP Ledger is my next venture experiment. In the artsy NFT world, things that are new are hot. That is the advantage that the XRP Ledger in particular has, is that it's new, but also it's fast. It's literally lightning fast. And that I had not experienced on Ethereum or Polygon. So that was actually a big advantage I saw. I do believe it's undervalued, but I also believe Bitcoin is undervalued. If they win, it's not.
Yeah, we know it's XRP is going to go. The XRP ledger is going to continue to grow. Digital asset XRP is going to grow. Ripple, the company, is going to grow. We just got to get through this litigation so they can proceed forward. Did I put the wrong clip in here? Okay, so Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton, Bill Morgan, and Fred Rispoli were responding to Paul Grewal's tweet here where he says, today Coinbase filed our answer notice of intent to file a motion to dismiss the SEC's case against us. Interesting, huh? It says Coinbase filed, says, what jumped out to me is how Coinbase uses information/experience from the Ripple case. This says, seeing him in emails referenced below also throws in new stuff, the major question doctrine. Very nicey. Very nicey. So obviously we knew that they were going to utilize as much as they possibly could from the Ripple litigation, right, to strengthen their case. Jeremy Hogan says the main problem Coinbase faces in its SEC lawsuit is that it has to essentially defend the non-security status of numerous tokens. Here you see that when confronted with a statement by Polygon, Coinbase can only respond, it says what it says, fighting from a weak position. Bill Morgan hit something on the head right here. Says, of course, the Coinbase uses helpful evidence from the Ripple case while it continues to halt secondary market trading of XRP on its exchange. It, of course, argues the secondary market trading of any token, apparently, except XRP, fits not a single prong of the Howey test. I mean, for real. And let me jump over to Fred Rispoli, right? This ties into kind of what Fred Rispoli is talking about, because obviously the Coinbase is pretty much talking about, you know, the bullying and overregulation by enforcement tactics by the SEC and the unlawfulness about it, right? Fred Rispoli says, keep in mind, for all the bullying SEC is doing against Coinbase, Coinbase is doing the exact same thing. Well, actually worse, against Songbird, Flaring Network community members that were its customers. So pretty much the people who, you know, were part of that 2020 XRP snapshot to be, to get their Flare tokens, Songbird airdrops and all that stuff, still being affected by now. I think there's still some ongoing stuff that's happening with that side of things, but it's just interesting. That goes in with the whole, like, dude, relist XRP, man. Like, I get it from a business standpoint. I can understand certain things, but it's like you're utilizing information from the Ripple the SC versus Ripple lawsuit, right? You pretty much say none. You guys have a very fine and just filtering process before you list digital assets on your platform, right? So why, if that's the case, and you say, none of these digital assets in the secondary market fit one prong in the Howey test, how are you not relisting XRP, right? I mean, it's literally contradictory. So then John Deaton has a different take on what Paul says about them filing to dismiss the SEC's case against them. It says, I believe Coinbase's motion to dismiss based on the major questions doctrine has real teeth. I'm not saying that it will be granted for sure. I'm just saying it's not your garden variety motion to dismiss where denial can easily be predicted. The motion has teeth because of the following. One, Congress is initiating legislation demonstrating its intent to legislate this major question issue. Two, the him and emails discuss the regulatory gap and greater confusion to the market. Three, Gensler original acknowledgement that there is no existing regulatory framework for digital assets. Four, the fact that there isn't a single case in history that has found a secondary sale of an investment contract to also be an investment contract. In fact, the one case that involved a secondary sale found that it wasn't. Five, there isn't a single case in history where the courts have found an investment contract when there exists no privity between the issuer, promoter, and the buyer. Six, the Supreme Court decision in West Virginia versus EPA. It all depends on the predisposition of district courts of Judge Catherine Polk. All I know about Judge Filia is that she was appointed by President Obama from reading a Meta Lawman thread several weeks ago. That only gives us no insight on how she will rule, but I can see interlocutory appeal coming in the near future. So just some information, man. We'll see what happens with the SEC versus Coinbase stuff. I wanted to touch on this from Mr. Huber. I thought it was interesting because it kind of ties into what we've just been talking about, how, you know, these other industry players that are under the microscope and under lawsuits with the SEC now, they're going to utilize strategies, tactics, and information from the SEC versus Ripple case to strengthen their position. They'd be silly not to, right? But it's kind of frustrating to the XRP community because we were scrutinized, and Ripple was scrutinized, and XRP, the digital asset, was scrutinized for all this time, right? For all the actions that they've taken. But now check this out. So you have Jake Travinsky, right? We all know Jake Travinsky, and, you know, we'll just say Blockchain Association and the like, right? Very, very, very minuscule, if at all, even fighting the good fight outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you will, right? That's literally what how we've perceived their actions, right? Obviously, they're trying to change their tune now that everyone's under the microscope, especially Ethereum, right? So check this out. Jake says SEC Chair Gary Gensler has wrongfully prejudged the digital assets are securities. As a result, federal law requires that he recuse himself from all enforcement decisions related to digital assets, right? So then coming up here, obviously Stuart Alderati had put up this crypto lawyer PSA, right, on the 28th of February, pretty much saying the same thing: prejudge the outcome, recuse himself, right? So Mr. Huber says they laughed at Ripple for the blue sky, no investment contract argument, and then used it. They laughed at Ripple for the recusement argument and then used it. I mean, literally, that says enough, man. It's crazy. The XRP community, Ripple, the company, always been on the right side of history and the right side of the law, right? As we know the law, as you know, as the law that's actually present, right? And then when it comes to, you know, XRP and, you know, the ecosystem, the XRPL, we all just knew deep down in our hearts, based on all the information that we've seen, right, making it an executive and knowledgeable decision, that it's on the right side of the history and the right side of law, right? And it's been evident. Look at the fight that Ripple, the company, the XRP community, has been putting against the powers that be, right? They're trying to smash us. Now you see everybody else using it. And these are players that were ignoring us when we were shouting from the rooftops, like, come help. They're coming after everybody. We got to band together. We got to help. We're on the same team. Nope. Now look at it. The tables have turned. Hey, it's all good though. As long as we stand together and we fight now, then that's solid. But it's just interesting. I'm going to touch on this real quick. It says CoinDesk. Breaking: a landmark UK finance bill that will recognize crypto as regulated financial activity in the country has passed into law, with King Charles giving it the final approval. Crypto as regulated financial activity, huge. And what are we doing? Look at this. President Biden says he'll make tax system fair and eliminate loopholes for crypto traders. Man, whatever the it's interesting. I can literally go on for like 20 minutes about how frustrating this makes me, and thinking about, you know, the big players out there, right? The big dollars, and how they you know, lobby, and they set up, you know, tax loopholes to benefit them, right? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, if you will. I'm not some sort of person that, you know, acts as if like, oh, I'm a victim, we're victims. I mean, which we are, but I'm not that type of person. But bro, like, let's be fair. Let's make it fair. And if the tax code is what it is what it is. Don't try to implement some specific pertinent tax code against crypto in general, right? To weed us out, or, you know, to smoke us out type thing. It's like, no, the tax code is what it is. If crypto traders are benefiting from certain things, just like the normal industry players and everyday people can benefit from as well, then it is what it is. But to just target crypto, I mean, clearly we know what's going on with that administration. It's just shameful, man. We're currently sitting at a 1.21 trillion market cap. Bitcoin sitting at 3,500. I heard from some couple technical analysis people that we broke through, I think it was like 29.5, obviously. But if we have our candle close over that 29.5, ideally they were saying like that $30.5 to $31,000 range, and we can be seeing some bright days going ahead. But based on the people I follow, I anticipate some Some more green coming as that retracement happens in the Bitcoin realm. Ethereum sitting at 1851, XRP sitting at 47 cents, and the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting at 54. But that's all I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.